And now for something completely different.
Why do these mental games come to be a reality such that it now leads into the reality itself? It is a physical altercation. Because to me, that is exactly what happened.
That would be like a place I'd love to start from, right? A podcast topic that I don't think many people have explored. And that's, we can only talk about it halfway because we are the half of this equation. But it's same-sex relationships. And not in the sexual manner. I mean, how we interact. Why do you think it's difficult for men to have honest relationships, honest interactions with themselves? Even like, but you're moving in a funny way around them. You know, where do you think that comes from?
Oh.
Yeah.
My first thought right now, I think it might be how the man is brought up. The narrative around it. The only relationship that you mentioned that you can have with a person should be a female. With another guy,
It's weird.
Not that it's weird, but these are the things you should focus on. Like they give you a list. Money, work. You have no time for relationships. From one side. And then as that keeps going and going, it turns into a mental problem or a mental issue. Because it's embedded in you now.
What an excellent way of answering it. Because what you have essentially said is what is really not known. We as men don't know probably then how to have relationships with each other.
Yes.
We only know how to have relationships with the opposite sex.
With women, yeah.
Yes, with women.
Yeah.
And yet we are not even good at that. You know what I mean?
That's not going great at all.
So we only come back to each other when these things here are not working.
Yeah.
So now we come to try and have a relationship with our friend.
Yeah.
But the moment, again, someone pops into the picture and it becomes a serious relationship, you disappear. So what kind of relationship then are you cultivating with your friend? Okay.
What do you think? Where do we find that struggle? Where does that come from? Because it should be easy, right? This is, you know, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, as the saying goes, right? So when two Martians meet, there should be a point of relatability where they're like, hey, my guy, the world is confusing, but we can relate to each other because these are the things we know about each other. But you know what I mean? We lie to each other constantly.
I think we are very individualistic. And what makes us become individualistic is the number of secrets we accumulate along the way. The more secrets you have about yourself, the more individualistic you become because you become very guarded. So therefore, your engagement with people around you is quite minor and quite shallow because you would not like to reveal your secrets. Now, you would look at it from an extreme level where someone has got so many secrets, but everybody has got secrets. And so therefore, we lightly engage with each other. Because we have secrets.
Lightly.
Yeah, lightly engage with each other. You know, because we have, you know, secrets. We don't trust each other so much, and it is because we don't trust ourselves. So what we do is we project. And the more we project is the more we feed each other untrustworthiness. So even when you come out of yourself as a person that does not trust themselves, you enter into a sea of untrustworthiness. So you're not even getting a break. So essentially we become...
Pardon?
In the matrix.
We kind of become
Construct of your
trapped.
creation.
We become trapped in this cycle of illusionary lives. You know, it is a soap opera. You know, that is essentially the big barrier that we have. You know, between each other. You know, even as men, because we tell each other stories, but we don't tell each other your internal perspective.
Do you think it could be out of seeking a balance, right? Because as you said, the two relationships we experience as men is with our friends, right? And then with our romantic partners, right? That's the two relationships. And in one, we seem to be able to divulge our deepest, darkest secrets. Your romantic partners, usually, they are able to strip you down to your bare minimum and tell you, no, club wish they bed. You know what I mean? They what these small girls you're trying to impress. You cry when you come. You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying? What's that big man you're portraying out there? And then amongst our friends, to balance that, we're like, let me just show them the projection of who I would like to be. Because ukunde fumoko. But I'm full of day. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that's that could be a reason, like a balance? Like you have to shine somewhere. You know what I mean? Your friends high five you when you walk in the room.
It is an accurate reason. In the sense that you have no home. You know, a home should be able to allow you to retire as an individual, to accommodate you as an individual, without the energies nor the sounds of others. It is a retirement, complete retirement to self. Because you would like to exercise yourself. What does freedom look like to you away from people? So, because we don't have homes, we have to make the homes that we have as homes. So we go to these homes and we strip in the public of our partners. In the public of our partners.
You become free.
You become
of
free.
someone else.
Because I trust you. You know.
In the middle of a very serious conversation. I'm not so the bills.
But you will see you. You know. So you are essentially home, and your bare self is very exposed. So it is a place of weakness. So because it is a place of weakness and you have partnership, it means that you have truly transferred your weakness to your partner, and your partner therefore knows you. Because you are only as strong as your weakness. You're only as strong as your weakness. So being in that space feels like striking a balance is going to see people that don't know you.
You go meet outsiders. People come from this environment.
These environments.
No, hey man,
That's
I'm a starring. That's the general meeting between men. Right? Two strangers will meet like this. Two male strangers will be like, hi, how are you doing? I'm fine. Great, my name is this. What do you do? I do this. Oh, I'm a starring. And he's like, nice to meet you, because so am I. You know what I mean?
Two starrings in a movie.
Two starrings. We can make a great show.
How many Avengers? How many Avengers are starring by Wangamuri? More than one star. What's happening here? What are we fighting against? Everyone is a star.
You're fighting against that incrimination. You feel where you're coming from.
So anyway, I mean, it's very accurate way of putting it. That then when we go outside, we then try and mend and fix our ego. You know, by having the freedom to present yourself in any manner that you wish to. You know, you are free. Because you know, so meaning you are free. They don't know you. Even if they say the taulana, if you are following, if you are what's happening here? You know, you know. So they don't know you. As far as people are concerned out there in public, is you are a strong guy. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. So you are free to portray yourself as that guy. And we tend to run amok with that. You know, we totally do. And when we do, is when we now mess it up this side and then go and cry home.
They don't like that guy I was pretending to be.
Yeah.
Who knows me?
But
you're right.
When it doesn't
it's very dangerous to always play on the surface. It's always very dangerous to always play on the surface.
I was going to ask you how do you balance that, right? Is there a way to balance that in a male friendship? Is there a way to attain a level of vulnerability? And or rather a level of, it doesn't always have to be vulnerability, a level of honesty.
Let me just tell you this. It's very easy. The biggest mistake that we tend to make is we like to fabricate when it is not absolutely necessary. You know, any story that you tell, you have to add some meat to it. You know, everything that you say about yourself, you have to add some more meat to it.
But in the
everything that you say you have done, you have to add some, more meat to it. It's like a CV. You know, CV is like the most useless paper you will ever see. You know, because it is a sales pitch, and so you will have to perfect it. You know, there's nothing about the person, in the document. There's nothing about that's why there's even that question in interviews to say, tell us one of your weaknesses. The problem is, I think one of my weaknesses is that I am too.
I always want to succeed.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
I'm too analytical.
With my work.
So sometimes I work overtime, so I have no time outside, So that's what we want, So yeah, I think that's a weakness to me. No.
You can't work here. That's a weakness.
No, you can't work here.
You're not thinking
straight. We don't have mad people here. I mean, who does that? There are other things to do in life. You know what I mean? So make sure you allocate time. Watch in this time, because you've got to do this in another time. You've got to be many things in different times. So you can't, otherwise you confuse everything, and you come here and tell us, because you've been running around for no reason. And I think that's what we do. In our interactions, you meet someone for the first time and you want to paint yourself as a saint. It's not necessary. Just tone it down and just say it like really it is when you are in your bedroom sleeping naked. There's no need to dress it up. There's no need to dress it up. But I think we just throw things on top, and for me that is what I find problematic. You meet someone, they tell you to say, "Oh, I'm building flats."
Here's a good one. I'm just acquiring a piece of land.
what has that got to, do with me?
With meeting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it unless it is going somewhere where I am going to derive some value from it. If you acquired your land through some special technique that you felt that people don't know this, so therefore you start that conversation so that you can help your friend also acquire a piece of land. That is the objective.
No.
Not to simply say that I acquired a piece of land.
That's
it is very
rarely ever the objective.
Economic time.
That's rarely ever the objective.
Yeah.
The objective usually is to assert a place of dominance.
So that is what you just need to tone down. You don't need to go that far. You don't need to exaggerate anything about yourself because everyone is as simple as you are. The very same thing that you want to do, that's also what they want to do. Yes, exactly. I just bought a jet about just a few weeks ago. You've got these two guys that are telling each other lies about what they are not.
They'll have to come in on like left field to make it seem like it's ordinary. You start from, gas prices have gone up. I've actually been thinking of buying a jet, but the premiums on and it's like
hang of fees.
It's like hang of fees, man. You have to, because they bring that gas in every hour. It's like, my friend, we're in Bowling.
That's where we are.
Both of us are in Bowling. So where's your jet?
Why are you here with us? Because you seem to sound like a god.
No, actually, I've been just trying to live life and just experience the way everybody else. These guys are good.
Some good stuff. Yeah. All right. No, chilifia. But yes, that is what is absolutely unnecessary. And if you just manage to then just tone that down, you find that you are on a good path to creating like genuine relationships with your peers.
Is that the balance?
That is the balance, because you see the reason why we tell lies is because in your first interaction you told a lot of lies. You painted yourself. So now you've got an image that you have to keep up. So imagine you're maintaining an image this side, you're maintaining an image this side. You have so much maintenance going on that in fact you're not even doing. Because those images are non-existent. So why are you managing things that are non-existent? You are busy with things that, that's why Mamuna Bakambumun. No, I thought it was, there's nothing that is working there. Because you are very busy just projecting your false image because you told simple lies, painted, exaggerated, truths. Don't think people are great out there. Don't think people are great out there because we're all people. You know what I mean? We're all people. No one is a dog. Next. No one is a dog.
Don't believe those women. Don't believe those women. You're not a dog. Or rather, you don't have to be.
Zero and panzer.
The dog is having fun.
Anyway. I think it is basically that simple, because even in our romantic relationships now we have to even do more of that exaggeration, because you so still more bad. You know what time it is? 12 minutes past 2.
Why 12 minutes past 2?
Because when anything happens, fast 12 minutes.
Problem with you.
12 minutes. To what? Just to the next thing.
12 minutes.
Just just waiting for 12 minutes. But
I mean, we also live exaggerated lifestyles just in general.
Absolutely.
In these cities, we are everything being sold to us is an exaggeration. You wake up seeing the most beautiful women in that Colgate ad. You know what I mean? The most beautiful people on that billboard. And this is your environment. This is the environment in which you exist, and you build these unrealistic expectations of yourself. So you start living up to those. You see that ad of the guys drinking the beer together, and you're like, this is what it must be like with me and my friends. And me, I'm that guy. Hey, Moto, how you doing, man? Cheers, man. Great time having beer with my friends. And we start to build these...
It's wrong standards. Think about it this way. How did we arrive at the most beautiful looking woman? Or the most handsome looking woman? Oh, sorry, handsome looking man.
I mean...
It's just a
Sidebar for a second. We'll come back here. I've got a friend who liked this woman who is bigger in stature than him. And I had a moment listening to him describe her. And he was like, she's like, that's the Amazonian. And I sat there and I thought, this guy really likes this girl, but he wants her to crush him.
Crush me, baby.
Yeah, but back to that.
Ooh, yeah.
Unrealistic standards.
Yes, unrealistic standards, because to put someone there as the most beautiful woman, I think as we have grown up as men, we have realized that that as a thing does actually not exist.
Beyonce got cheated on. Who are you?
It's not that one thing. Yes, it's not long hair. Try now, kashkao. It's just. It's a soup, No, it's just one and the same thing. But what is different about us is the human being. So now, as we've grown, we've come to kind of see that more and more, that what we truly like is a composition of what something looks like, sounds like, feels like. It's a lot of many other compliments. That's one thing.
Yeah, that's a one-dimensional thing. In a three-dimensional world, you're selling me something superficial.
But what did you truly ask?
What did I truly ask? Why is it difficult for men to have relationships with each other, or for same-sex human beings to have non-sexual relations with each other and be honest in them? That was where this whole thing came from.
To each other.
Yeah, with each other. We've had a version of this conversation, I think 2 years ago.
Yes.
When I was saying, I think Chasha was also here when I was saying men constantly lie to each other. You know what I mean? Constantly, for no reason. You just wake up and, hey, my guy, I did 400 push-ups. Why? Hey, that girl, my guy, hit that. Okay. All right. What relevance is this information to me? But you feel like it gives you some kind of social capital, it gives you some kind of value to me. If I know that Chasha is knocking them down in the city,
I want to be like,
no, I'm going to respect Chasha. You know what I mean? Chasha, what a guy. What a guy.
The greatest man in the world.
Look at him. He manages to balance his job, have sex with many women. You know what I mean? It's something that people think is admirable. You know what I mean? We start to... When you said standards, I was thinking about the things that we grow up admiring as men. As people in general, but in particular, as men. The things we grow up aspiring to achieve. You know, from a young age, you have been taught in the cartoons, in the movies, the cool guy is this guy. You know what I mean? And it's been reinforced by your friend circle. It's been reinforced by the women you interact with. You know what I mean? You have lost in your good boy days. You definitely lost a good woman to the worst guy in school, and you have this idea like maybe that's a thing. You know, and you build these constructs, and you grow up and you have a job.
We always kind of say it loudly how we think that women compete amongst each other for us. While we don't know that we compete amongst each other for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sad that we kind of take it to a dangerous level,
such an obsessive state,
which is a resource level. You know, which is a resource level. Where you start to then expend more than you can actually afford. You know, because you have sold to the world this, you know, illusion of yourself. So when you go out, you have to maintain that image. You know?
Big bias.
So the lies that we tell as men and to each other are very costly. And for me, that is what I find problematic. You know, that if we are logically talking about this, is that for men, us men, it usually translates into expenditures that we cannot afford. And so now we end up in a cycle of debt. And debt is something that you cannot afford if you are borrowing to spend. Because money is a resource. But it is also a finished product in the sense that you can completely eat it. You can go and buy sausages. Wow! You know what's quite 200 pin.
Your frames of reference. Your frames of reference. Continuously interesting.
Because people think that people that are mad are those. Not knowing that it's also them. So I can entertain you to what you think is madness. But if you really think about it, it just comes right back to you that it is this stupid. You know, you can't have 200 pin in your account and say, you know, I've always wanted to buy sausages in my life. And you go, why kungola sausage wakamba, muna ngani ShopRite. Wapuisha ShopRite yapa Monday. Wafuma mbulia kai 200 pin you go to another shop, you complete sausage stock. You know, in about 5 stores, where you come and pack them here and just
you start out by finding out how much sausage is Lusaka on a general.
And you know why Yama sausages are here. That was the point, which is in Dalamawadia. And you think that it sounds like a joke and it's stupid, but that's exactly what we do. Thinking that because I have gone to borrow a 3 pin. That's small money that I can return. The problem is that that money is going to an expense. And this expense is not going to bring back anything. It's just going to sustenance. It's just going to sustenance. So you know very well that this 3,000 will never come back. You should know that it will never come back.
You've essentially turned the 3 interests.
Yes. So it's gone into a double negative. To say, if you, let's say, you earn 10,000, right? So, you get paid 10,000, you got 10,000 in your bank account. And then along the way, in the month, you run out of money. And then you say, okay, I think here I need 3 pin to reach me the end of the month so that I can get that 10 pin again, right? So what that means is that this money is not going to cycle itself. It's going into a sustenance expense. Okay? It's going into a double negative. Meaning, once you borrow this 3,000, you've got to pay it back, right?
Yeah.
So when that other month comes, you get the 10,000. You're going to say, oh, now I have 10,000. I will pay this 3,000
No,
back.
you have 4,000.
No. What you have is 6,000. So, because last month you missed a 3,000, right? You were living your life, so you missed a 3,000. What guarantees do you have that you are not going to miss a 3,000 again, just like last month?
That's the reason I brought it to 4,000.
Because so it means
you have to replace that 3,000, and you may still miss a 3,000.
Yes, so you have 6,000.
Okay.
So 3,000, okay, you pay back. That time now will even come sooner than it came last month. Because you are missing a 3,000 now, right from the beginning. So it will even come sooner. Now, because it has come sooner, you're going to ask for more. You're going to go somewhere and ask for more. So last month you asked for 3,000. This month you're going to ask for 4,000. Because what you are now missing is 6,000. 3,000 that you have paid back, and the 3,000 that you're going to be missing again this month. So you just take it up to 4,000 to say, I'm gonna stack up last week. Second week. So I think just 1,000 would do. This time I'm asking for 4,000. So now your debt at that particular point begins to grow exponentially because you've got a static earning of 10,000. That 10,000 is not going to change. So you're going to enter into a perpetual cycle of debt, and you're not going to be able to come out. But while at the very same time, you're trying to maintain your life. So you are struggling this side, right? But people don't know that you're struggling this side. They still know you as the person that you are, who is worth 10,000 kwacha, and you are able to shine. All right? But you don't have that 10,000 kwacha. You only have it on paper, by contract. Now, sign 10,000 every month. But in the account, there is no 10,000. So, but when you go out to play, you still have to portray yourself as the guy that earns 10,000 kwacha, or the guy that earns 30,000 kwacha, or the guy that earns 70,000 kwacha. But you still don't have that 70,000 kwacha, because that 70,000 kwacha is actually in negative. The struggle is, that is your own problem. These are things that your friends don't know about. Because some farm guys, you are afraid that probably your name will be dented, and you are afraid for the right reasons. Because also, it's a bunch of weak chaps, just like yourself.
I've never heard weak ass chaps said worse than it actually sounds. Because you said weak ass and chaps and Jesus, yeah.
We are all just the same. But you have to kind of now put up that image, forgoing the struggles that you truly have. Forgoing the struggles that you truly have.
Terms.
Yes. But the interesting thing is that even the person that you are meeting and pretending with is in the same kind of trouble. The same kind of trouble, and it could be different. But you are both in trouble. And yet, you avoid each other's problems to discuss them. Because you've got images to put up. You've got images to put up. I am a CFO. I am a CFO. Same person. So there's nothing like, so no mwesa iroresha wasanga cha bonze na mkwata nani kan na mkwata ma burdens
ero mule iseka
mule iseka limbi wa study view wangu ikwana aba we guys but nishi na iwe it's just that you've not come to the table truly to be honest with our fear for weakness is a problem. You know, our fear for weakness is a problem.
Our fear for weakness is a weakness.
You know, that's why we get surprised sometimes when a woman, you know, comes to you confident and says, "Oh, I'd like to talk to you." What? What's happening? Why is there?
No, I'm busy. You're standing in a club. You're busy.
You know?
Yeah, no, I'm drinking my drink. Leave me alone.
You know, I never have time to myself. No, it's just the meeting needs to be had.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm in an agency.
Come here, meeting that. You know, go and sit. Because, you know, and here's the thing. A woman never shows up to the table without documents. She never shows up to a fight without documents.
Yeah.
She's got all the documents. A woman will not, when she's suspicious, it's when she knows. So she shows up to the table with documents. So mama meeting right now, she's not forge look at this
Christmas picture of us together. Don't you think this is bigger than this argument?
I think it is out of the fear. It's like how loud they will tell you as a rule that you must practice in relationships or marriage. Communication is key. The reason why that is loud is because us, we don't know how to communicate. Us. So it's usually a message not for them. For them, it's just, okay, how you approach them. You know, these guys, they're not very sharp. So, just try and be gentle. They don't be, I know you know things, but just try and be gentle. And then use it. No, just learn to say things before they happen. Just learn to open up. Communicate more. Let them know. It's really for us because we are very poor communicators. We believe that life is about actions. But them actions, they only what's no, just know I'm gonna mention now. It's an action. I've done it. I've done it. What do you know about mansion business? Can you tell me? When England but every month in the 10 pin. I spend 10 pin on the house. More than the rental you pay. Just to maintain the house. About clean up and it's a big house. So,
mansion.
I mean,
that's the thing that men say to each other. What do you know about this?
Yeah, exactly. What can you tell me? What can you
No, not only what can you tell me. There's a looking down on each other we do. A very specific one. Not what can you tell me. It's more like what I'm experiencing. You can't know. You know what I mean? like man, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, what do you know about what I know? Forgetting that we all know something.
We all know something.
You know what I mean?
Like, don't think that is the world. You just know a small portion. A small portion.
It's like a cardiologist and a dentist arguing like who's a better doctor. You know what I mean? You guys you just put teeth. You guys you just poke hearts. What do you know about putting teeth? What do you know about
people die such like you have straight direct to the brain. You're in a neurosurgeon, so I have who's closer to the brain, you or me? What do you know about brain?
Brain business.
Smarter than you.
We do that to each other so much, even subconsciously without realizing it.
It's what at some point I hated very much in WhatsApp groups. The fact that obviously there are a mixture of people in a WhatsApp group, right? Depending on what it is, you know, there are accountants, doctors, pilots, businessmen, chanchaniko, politicians, and so on and so forth. But what is interesting is when people argue in a WhatsApp group is that they do not give chance to expertise. You know, like there is truly someone who knows something about this here. You know, there's a lawyer in here. Why are we arguing about
simple thing?
Can we just ask this guy to tell us what it is? What it is?
No, here it depends on the chicken.
Yes, you don't have to pretend as though you know something about law. You know, and make an argument out of it. And to the extent that you even start to argue with someone that has, you know, studied that for years. You know, like, just learn to kind of listen. So you have a lot of opinion that is not coming from experts at all, and they just, you know, would argue. And for me, that is what I say a facade. We are again lying to each other because you are holding arguments in areas that you are not well vested in. So therefore you are lying about it. You are arguing about things to an extent, you know, that you are your word is actually bound to this. You know, no, you are lying. Here we can place a question. What we need to do here is place a question instead of an answer from people who really don't know but are pretending as though they do know. We are wasting time. It is how we play everywhere. You know, it's lies upon lies, and we don't see this. We don't see it. We don't see it because somehow we draw a lot of fun out of it, you know.
From life.
Yeah, we draw a lot of fun from because others fall off. You know what I mean? Others fall down in their line. That's when the jokes now become. We start talking about. But now he's fallen off. So it's fun, you know. So what we find entertaining. We're all criminals. You know, trying to what is that home guys? I jump bank. I exhaust. No. Whatever so. Which type of chanchan you you just don't go straight in the vote and take money out.
Pretending to be policemen.
Yes. Got you. It
should be more. But we got that before me.
We got that. That's why it's to kill a cop with a heart attack.
Excuse me?
Ka video up. You know what start negotiate ka deal pa pele kwa pela ko fezali ka finish chanchano ko wa sa wa na banga video kunde to me. It's a heart attack. The low court line. Like what? Yes, because the lies just exist everywhere. You know, it's even how most businesses have succeeded. They've had to lie somewhere, somehow. They've had to fabricate, exaggerate. You know, a couple of you're not quite if I'm not
I can supply you.
I can supply you.
Don't worry. You know, you want 4
containers. You know, but we'll figure it out.
4 blonde penguins. Those are things that my mother blessed me. Those are things that are in the backyard just moving around. Just give me the contract. We have. What's this lamb penguin you have brought? Only one of them. Kind, you know, it's no longer penguin season. Just when you gave me the money, I didn't check the weather. The penguins are actually in South Africa now. so you can open a new office.
You need to give me more. I can actually now go and get
we have to ship the penguins and build some ice sculptures. You know, and ice is very expensive stuff.
So when you're done with that deal, when you go to your friends, it's to shine now. Because now, the way you are going to sell that story to your friends is that, not that you don't have, but you've got everything intact. I run a business, I've been doing it now for Shanshan, and that's what we sell to each other.
Just got a small contract to bring 250,000 penguins to Kawata for the annual penguin race. I don't know what you guys are doing with your weekend, but that's what I'm doing. You guys know how penguins breed? Let me tell you about penguins. Not your penguin, one would have big feet. Penguins actually.
But again, I like that it sounds like jokes.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the truth in it is quite loud and clear, because you're able to create associations in your mind. You can take your mind to areas where your behavior is exactly just like that. You paint yourself a champion, and yet you are not really a champion. You are in trouble. All right. So if you continue to if you continue to pretend as though you are a champion and yet you are not a champion, then you are not living the life that you are supposed to be living. That is essentially going to make you a champion. You are pretending to be a champion. It's only us poor people that buy expensive shoes, expensive watches, expensive cars, and shit like that. Because we have to pretend to be, and yet
play a role.
Not. Someone was always asking me, why do a lot of BMW cars break down on the road?
Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, just a quick one. Is this what causes the class casters? Where people just feel like our egos are on this side of town or on this level, so we should be here. Such that when you go into that cluster and you find that they're talking about penguins, but your issue is containers. You want to find your own container.
Yeah, I mean, from that perspective, it's a little shallow. Yeah,
but just the type of
it's just your type of lie, your perspective. That's why we use the penguin.
We enter through almost every other door by force. It's almost by force. We've started relationships with women almost by force. Do you
remember what was our first point of interest? You and I, as like choosing to be. We were at Rock FM, and we were both supposed to be there on the same day. And after that, you gave me a lift home.
Yeah.
But do you remember what made us click?
Moto Komba.
It was video games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's click.
It was video games. We were having this back and forth stranger conversation until he said, "Do you play video games?" Yeah. Ah, cool. What are you playing right now? I'm playing Need for Speed. I'm playing Moto Combat. This all actually started from this whole Moto Combat thing, because that led to us becoming serious at it. I find it interesting that was the basis of the friendship to start with. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not
that's why it stayed. It's stayed.
I'm not trying to pretend to be.
Hope we'll play it when we are 70 still. MK whatever.
That would be great. That would be great.
So anyway,
I forgot what podcast.
Yeah, no, what's going on here?
Yeah. No, I thought it tied to that. I hate saying this phrase. I'm at the age where the things that I'm valuing are very important to me. I'm very conscious of the things that are taking up my time, the things that are taking up my thoughts, the things that I spend time thinking about. You know what I mean? And around those things is a friend circle. Around those things is the people you associate with constantly, the people you interact with, So this is also why I brought up this topic today, because I'm at that age. It's very curious. I'm analyzing the people around me. I'm like, okay, but why do I have you here? Is it for a selfish reason? You know what I mean? Do I need to do a show and I need an audience. You know what I mean? It's one of those. So that's why I brought this up today. And I think it's a very dope manner in which we forged our friendship.